My name is Cynthia Kropacz. Happy to be one of your hosts here this morning, talking about cloud, talking about security, and talking about business resilience. So the good thing in the discussion that I will have with you, I will not really go into much of the technical stuff. There are real experts around the room and part of the audience who will be coming here to talk to you and can give you more information about this. But I wanted to take just a few minutes to set the stage about this conversation, about cloud, about security, about resiliency. I'm old enough to have been around when the concept of cloud started to become a thing. A few years ago, I won't go into exactly how many years. But I recall when IT managers or those who were responsible for infrastructure were really glad to finally have a tool where they could make a case for investment that was not about some of the things that had always been the recurring theme anytime you talked about infrastructure. If anyone here who have ever managed IT, we had the recurring issue of we've got to increase capacity. Our servers have come to end of useful life. Our servers are no longer supported by the manufacturer, and they have to be replaced. So when the story of cloud first started, it was about moving away from what was an expensive proposition. Every 2 to 3 years, people from IT would have to sit and write a business case to invest in very expensive equipment for one reason or another. Application servers no longer serving the needs of the business. Your database servers no longer serving the needs of the business. And the cost of that equipment was very, very expensive. So the concept of infrastructure always came from a place of cost. It was always about cost. And what cloud represented at the time was savings. Cloud was about you don't have to deal with these very expensive equipment. As quickly as you've written a business case, as quickly as you've gotten approval, and that was never quick, believe me, and you've just installed them, you've already started to talk about the next upgrade and the next replacement. And you were always this entity no one ever wanted in the room because you hogged budget. You came with big budget ticket items that didn't necessarily further the needs of the business. That's where we started the journey of cloud. If we talk about cloud today, the narrative has changed. It's not just about savings. It's not just about not dealing with this expensive equipment that you have to make a case for every single couple of years. The story of cloud now started to become about how are you helping your business continue uninterrupted operations. That's what the story is about cloud. Cloud in and of itself is not about boxes. It's not about equipment. The story of cloud and how it's used in a business and how business can harness value out of it is really around the planning and preparation that you have, the scenario planning that you have that allows you as a business to continue your operations, to continue serving your customers, as well as to be able to support the growth objectives that you have. And now suddenly, cloud has a different perspective. And I really love this term, business resilience, because those companies that can plan, can scenario plan, that can prepare for the changes that are taking place in our business environment. People in the office want to work from home. Your customers want to shop or engage with you increasingly at their convenience and not necessarily how you have prescribed it. Increasingly, your operations are scaled over a wide span of geography, where before you could plan on your servers and you could connect people inside a building, now you need to think about towns, regions, countries that you must be able to maintain and support operations. The narrative has changed. So cloud is now no longer this concept of, can I move and host my data? Can I move and run my work processes? Can I be able to drive savings? We are now at the forefront of enabling business in their objectives. The conversation has changed from cost to enablement. The conversation has changed from, you can help me continue to run operations, to, you're a vital component in how we are going to drive the narrative of business forward. And so I was thinking about this actually this morning. I got a whole speech written out for me about cloud. I'm not using it because the joke started by, Cynthia likes to bake. And I'm like, Cynthia doesn't like to bake. Cynthia doesn't even bake. And why am I getting baking? I should have gotten Cynthia likes to grill meats. And I didn't get that one, so we'll have to talk to our speechwriters to give us more, gender balance. Things have changed. Girls are not just in the kitchen baking. But you know who I thought about just this past weekend was Eliud Kipchoge. And I was thinking about this concept of resiliency and Kipchoge as a marathon runner and what parallels we could draw and learn from in this world of cloud security and resilience. And it really came to three things. One is planning and preparation, which we talked about. The concept of a world of business infrastructure is about having an understanding of your business, having an understanding of the market macros and environment, and being able to support the needs of your business. And that is a continuous process. What you planned for 2 years ago may be even outdated today because dynamics have shifted. And so when I was looking at someone like Eliud, who runs all of these races and the planning and preparation that he does, and I was reading a story about him, it was every race actually has a different preparation plan. Even though he has run marathons for many years, and sometimes even back to back, each one of those races has a battle plan. So for us who think about infrastructure of our business, we must have a continuous review in planning and preparation for our infrastructure. That even though we may have had ideas yesterday of what concepts of what the environment looks like, we must continually evaluate and reevaluate what that looks like so that we have built a platform that allows our businesses to thrive. So planning and preparation. The second thing I learned from reading about Kipchoge was about adaptability and flexibility. In the world of infrastructure today, one of the things cloud really enables is the ability to adapt and be flexible to change relatively quickly. In the old days, when significant investment, let me not say the old days, even currently, the significant investment you may make in infrastructure that sits in your server rooms, sometimes it's difficult to make any quick changes or to adapt to a changing need because you're trying to sweat out the investment you've already made. That this first has to make sense before you can change. And unfortunately, if you're not able to adapt and you're not flexible to change quickly, then you may find you're not competitive anymore, and others around you are able to flex and make those changes relatively quickly.